Oh, hi. Hello. Another day. Pain, misery, sadness, despair, death. Hello. Good evening. Hello. How are you all? I am here once again, ready to tell you of the tale of my day. Oh, I don't think I changed the name of the stream. That's okay. Can I change it? I think I can. Edit stream info. uh, hi. That is the struggle of my brain. Now the real question is Odaiba. Save. Did that work? Very cool. Hi. I think that worked. I don't know if that changes it. Day 94? Nope. Oh no, that didn't work. Let's go! At least for stream elements. Konnichiwa or konbanwa here. Ohio for most people else. What a day. What a long day. I'm tired. It was quite the adventure today when it came to everything that I did. But I am exhausted. I'm trying out a different position again. It's a little bright in here, but that's fine. Exhausted. Ronald, hello! Very confused. I am in Japan. Yeah, I can't show you where I am in Japan. But I have some Japanese-esque things you can kind of see here. Soju, and other stuff like that. But, yeah. I'm in Japan. I'm in Tokyo still. I will be for the rest of my trip still, too, anyway. But yeah, that's why I haven't been streaming like the normal stuff. I'm on vacation, and I'm doing this for my diary. Hi, Jakester. Good morning. Good morning. Hello, Ethan. Hello. Yeah, no, I don't think anybody will be used to the time difference either. I'm having a good time. Mostly anyway. Today was capitalized by pain. Definitely, this was the pain day. Of all the days. Ow. How I wanted to start this diary, though, however, today, is I think I'm going to start with something that I'm kind of dreading to try. But I picked it up at like a traditional confectionery shop here. That I'm gonna try. It's 3 p.m. for you. Yeah, that is very abnormal for you, Ethan. Normally you're like in the dead of morning-ish night, whatever you want to call that kind of time frame. I'm a night person. Some people are a morning person. The day after you left, you drove past the O'Hare airport and your sister said we should go to Japan. You should. It's been fun. It's really the thing that I absolutely say about this, and I mean this so wholeheartedly. Please make sure you walk a bunch before you go here. If you think you walk already enough, you are not walking enough when you come to Japan. That is probably the thing that's been limiting me the most here. Is the amount of pain. It's been my feet are very sore today, and my back unfortunately I threw out due to what I'll eventually get to today. But it's good. Yeah, it's one or two before for you. Yeah. I'm a nightlifer too. I get it. Hi, movie. Hello, Lace. By the way, hiking conditioning. Yeah, I think that could help a lot. It's about more steps, honestly. You don't need to worry about stairs so much here, but it's definitely about getting the feet. Get It was another 20,000 steps or something like that today. I don't have my watch and I'm not willing to go get it. So it's pillow talk time. Yeah, I'm doing another angle. I just keep changing it. I'm still in the same hotel. I had considered sitting up for this one, and then I decided no because, ow, my back is mostly better. But when I got up like a second ago to grab the stuff that I wanted for this, I realized my back was unhappy again. So I'm kind of just laying down again. So yeah. I'm gonna start off the stream with this umeboshi. If you're not familiar with this, uh, I'm gonna grab it right now. This I'm not looking forward to having. Umeboshi. If you don't know what that is, it is pickled plum. This is from in the confectionery store that I went to today, which I'll talk about later. But I wanted to try it. I can't bring this home anyway because honestly, this is a surprising amount of liquid. I also don't know what this liquid will taste like, or if these plums will be nasty. Um, but I want to try it. It's hopefully going to be good. Sumomo is, by the way, plum. Momo is just peach, if you didn't know. Okay. I'm gonna position you kind of weirdly, chat, so bear with me while I open this. Don't get any thoughts, but I'm putting you on my thigh, okay? I'm putting you on my thigh. There. Just opening very briefly, and then we'll be good. I would put this on my desk, but in all honesty, I genuinely need to stay sitting right now, or laying down right now, so I'm not gonna spill, we're good. The thigh, I know. Pickled plums from the Plum Prick store. Yep, definitely. I'm gonna actually just try the juice real quick. It could be very pickled and it's just gonna be nasty. Itadakimasu. It's not bad. Whoa. um, wow. If you've not had umeboshi, how would I describe it? Sour is definitely the one. It's like spoiled sour. I don't like umeboshi flavor, which is why I knew it would be perfect for today. I'm gonna have to temporarily sit up because if I want to dig out one of these nasty ass boys, I'm gonna have to do it. Yeah, no, I make bad decisions, Kaylee. This is for the content. Naturally. Nah, I couldn't bring umeboshi home for various reasons. You can also see how much liquid is in there. Can't have it. If I could find some in the States, which I might be able to, I could maybe find some in the States. But, umeboshi sucks. Okay, here. Carolyn's not here yet. Someone don't tell Carolyn. Wait, that sentence doesn't make sense too much. Okay. So, I'm hoping there's not a pit in that. We'll find it. Excuse me. A little more nasty than I was ready for. I'm let you get in my bed real quick, just so I can position you. You're in my bed now. Congratulations. Hi, Kelsey. Bye, Kelsey. I'm sitting up now, responsibly. I'm gonna dig one out, because I don't want to. But I will, for content. My face. It's gonna... I hate the smell. I made such a bad choice today. Why did I choose this? Content. It's so overflowing. If I dunk my fingies in, it's getting on my pants. Look at my hair. It's beautiful. What is this? This doesn't look like it should go in my mouth. This is like, oh yes, the classified rabbit turd. Delicious. Alright. Itadakimasu. Put it on my desk. It's less sour than the juice. There is a nut in it. Um, the fruit that is in there for the plum is still a little bit sweet. The texture is really weird. Comes some cursed balls. Do you think Twitch would allow me to show you my nut? There, I showed you my nut. Excuse me. Excuse me while I get terms of service. Yeah, nasty. Uh, wouldn't do it again. But here we are. To wash it down, I wanted to try out this. I bought this yesterday, but didn't get around to it. This is soju. And it's not technically Japanese, this one, but it was in a Japanese store. This is soju, and I believe it's Korean. From my understanding, if you translate this, chamisuru is a Korean brand. Hey, I'm glad you saw my seed, though. Very good. Alright, let's try this. I've heard soju is very good, by the way. If I had some cow piss right now, I'd go for down some cow piss. Let's go. I'm glad you know, Hannah. Thank you. Arigato. Soju. Ow. What happened to you, Carolyn? Wow. That's really, really smooth, actually. I don't even know. It's alcoholic for sure. But how would I like kind of grenadine-ish? If you've ever had grenadine, like that oh, well, that's going to be a hazard for my feet later. Pretty good. It's kind of like grenadine in some ways. I wouldn't say absolutely that way, but it's probably the closest I could get to in the quick one. It's This is strawberry flavor though, so that is something else to know. Nothing happened. You were fine. Well, good. Oh, I cracked the bottle into the mic. Oh no. So there was a part of the bottle cap. The band around it fell off somewhere underneath my bed. So it's metal, and it's now a trap that I could die. I stare into your soul. Hi. Wonderful. Alright, eventually you'll get out of my bed. Apparently Korea has a lit alcohol scene. It's very good. Maybe I'll finish this as we stream for the rest of the evening. To recap, we haven't talked about anything yet. I just kind of wanted to do some stuff before we just vibe and hang out and talk about my day. We'll go back into the laying down position and have a little bit of alcohol. But hello, konnichiwa, ohayo gozaimasu to everyone, all of you out there in the world who are not in Japan time. It is currently 11:25. We're here to chill, talk, and hopefully let you guys all hear my day. How'd you hurt your... Oh, you don't know. You just said somehow. I'm sorry, Carolyn. You're not going to need to shower. Enjoy your shower for all your TCG locals. The card game locals? I don't know. So, we started our day today at 8:30, which wasn't too bad. Pretty reasonable day or start. I was up at 7. With how busy these days have been, I've been surprised to say that I've probably been sleeping insanely well and feeling well rested by the start of the day. For whatever reason, I think it's due to the fact of how active I am during the day. But I've been waking up earlier than intended. Like today I woke up at about 7:15-ish, maybe. Like an hour before I was supposed to wake up. That's been one huge benefit of how much activity I've been doing. Has a huge downside too, but the benefit is that I've been sleeping super well. Very, very surprised. but I'm enjoying. Decide what you're most jealous of Jake in Japan. Oh, what are you jealous of? Oh, the shower. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's at the shower. Yeah, showering every day has been really, really nice. I need to though. There's no way I would want to lay down in this bed, um, without showering. Uh, just because of how disgusting I eventually do get. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. So today we went down and chose to have breakfast at the hotel here. They have a breakfast hotel that is optional. It's not. You do have to pay for extra for it. Um, when we tried to order today, for whatever reason, I believe the waitress misunderstood, including misunderstanding our pointing. Um, to the exact menu that she handed us. She saw Elena point at something else. For me, she was successful for me, but Elena did not get the correct thing. She got the Western-ish breakfast, which, by the way, the Western breakfast, very much not really Western. Well, sort of. They give like a hamburger, a hamburger that is covered in like a teriyaki sauce. It's very much more textured based of like a if you're having a mini meatloaf, including for breakfast on her plate was some potato salad, and both of ours included miso. It was very strange, but pretty cool. I'm not trying to brag, okay? I'm sorry. How are the prices? Insanity. It's super stupid beneficial being an American right now. Being an American in here, our value to yen ratio is kind of upsettingly amazing. Um, our buying power is stupid. It used to be 100 yen was $1. Right now, it's probably like 134 yen is $1. So we have stupid power right now. It's really powerful. It's like a bro fist, bonito. I don't know what we were poking catching, but good luck. I just want to enjoy more of my alcohol. Anyway, so we really enjoyed our breakfast. I had a Japanese traditional breakfast. It was called the Japanese seto, and that one had a lot of veggies. They do go very hard in veggies, and I also had a full boiled. Yeah, it was boiled shrimp. Good morning, Chu. Good morning, Skanot. It was a full boiled shrimp. It had its eyes and its feelers and everything. Not knowing how to eat it properly, I took the yellow and actually just consumed it all. I just took it all in one bite, which, by the way, honestly, wasn't bad. The texture was a little strange, mostly being from the outer shell of it, but it was actually not bad. Yeah, well, I know. Very strange when you think about it that way. But it wasn't bad. I was pretty happy with it. Also had a full bowl of rice. It came with miso. And that's pretty much all the highlights out of my breakfast. And then we set ourselves over to Odaiba. We got to take a new train line today, which was the U. Yeah, I believe it was U. The U line. They had such beautiful views. So we are heading to Odaiba. Yeah, the shell is disgusting. I don't blame you at all, movie. We are heading to Odaiba, which, those who don't know, I will give you a quick little rundown. Odaiba is a lot of man-made islands. Very much for piers. Kind of skipping ahead because I won't remember to mention it later. We actually found Pallet Town. If you aren't familiar with, that is from Pokemon. It's from what we believe, we haven't researched it 100%, but we found Pallet Town, which is where Pokemon is from, which is super cool. You're trying to eat your breakfast. I'm sorry. Okay? Something not too hungry. Oh, no. Hi, Mr. Beast. Hello. Konnichiwa. So, the views were absolutely stunning. Because it's man-made islands and it was Odaiba was connected to the bay or Tokyo Bay. We got to see a bunch of ships coming in, a bunch of just like different beautiful views onto the ocean the entire way. Odaiba also has like some of the most futuristic buildings. I don't know what was going on, but Odaiba was honestly really amazing. Our destination to get there, the GPS, we set it to the Statue of Liberty, which you may have seen or taken a picture in the hub. We did get to the Statue of Liberty today. It's a very strange thing to have tried to go hunt down. But I'll hopefully make everybody hungry again in a little bit, but we'll see. Oh wow, Emmy likes listening to me. That's interesting. So we went to the Statue of Liberty, which we found out France cheated on us. Because for whatever reason, and I didn't know this until this trip, France and Japan have a really good relationship together. I'm not really sure why that is. Because when we went to the shrine yesterday, for some reason, they had a bunch of French wine that was waiting to be consecrated, and all like so many different French wines, and they are all labeled gift from France. So France really likes Japan, and it's also shows because if you see tourists, there's a decent chance that they're from France for interesting reasons. I didn't know France came all the way over here all that often. Yeah, I don't know. I could see that very much, Skinny. I could very much see it. I don't know if you've noticed that with all my messages and snaps, but she misses me. I have noticed that. That's true. Yeah, I could see them trade a lot. France probably also likes to go on vacations, and Japan is a very nice location. If you haven't, if you're like wanting to visit an Asian country, I think Japan is probably one of the best starter options, because of just how safe it is and just how secure. I've honestly felt so safe here. Walking at night, no worries. It's so weird, just like the general change and feeling of it compared to everything else out there. It just feels so nice to walk around, see things, be part of the public. It's clean. It's genuinely amazing seeing the difference. Yeah, I guess France probably could have gifted it to a lot of people, but I would say definitely U.S. is not special. The one in here in Odaiba was a lot smaller than the one in U.S. Saying that though, there is a lot of evidence that France and Japan, other than just the Liberty, has a good relationship. Silk trades. We aren't special. Oh no, America's never special. Because from my understanding, that's not the first and only gift of a Statue of Liberty, for whatever reason. So, when we eventually got out of doing that, we discovered the rare and extinct Toys R Us. I don't know what was going on with that, but there's a Toys R Us here in Japan, at least in Odaiba, that I hadn't seen as a in my life since I was probably about 10 or 13 years old. They, if you don't know, became extinct in America through bankruptcy, and apparently found a footing in Japan and I think Canada too. Stop being a meanie. I can't do nothing. I'm a meanie day in and day out. But we Waited until the mall opened. By the way, almost everything here opens up a lot later and closes a lot earlier than you expect. I think I would say a pretty safe bet is most everything opens up by 11 and most everything closes up by 7. So there's a very small window for you or anybody else to actually get to do everything. Uh, I don't know why those hours are like that, but that is a very consistent issue for like getting food or making sure you're just having a good time. I'm not sure why exactly that is, but it's kind of cool that it just has a whole different vibe to things. To the Trojan horse, it would be funny if there's still to this day people ready to bolt out of the lovely Statue of Liberty. That would be really cool. It's very decent hours for workers, yeah. That's essentially only having to have one person per shift, basically, right? That would be 8 hours. 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, yeah. I guess you don't have to have multiple shifts and stuff. That's kind of cool. I didn't think about it like that way. Pretty neat. Elena also got a lovely new hat. We were looking around because for whatever reason, the Japanese sun is intense, which is absolutely why you don't want to come to Japan. If you do in summer, avoid summertime here. Even though it is about 70s, the sun actually kind of makes it feel about 90s. So be very, very careful. I know Elena mentioned crazy. The weather is about 70s. In the shade, it's beautiful. I did try to bring a sweater today, and anytime I was in the sun, it was suddenly impossible to wear the sweater. Very much a mistake. Yeah, it's gonna be apparently when I come back, possibly snow. So that would be cool. Stormed all night, but we haven't experienced any storms. Tomorrow there's a chance of storms. But I'm going to guess we won't see any. I'm not 100% sure. Nice fall day in Texas. Nice. Nice. So yeah, I got a hat and then headed over to Diver City Mall. This brought up a topic in my head before I get too far beyond it. We were in another mall, by the way, when I saw Toys R Us, and I got a hat. There is a interesting obsession with malls, at least in Odaiba, and it's kind of shown in other parts that we visit. Malls are a dying breed in the United States by a long shot. They are close to dying, I would say. We saw in just today 5 malls, and that is conservative, I would say. 5 malls today. I would say more, but I don't want to say more. And Odaiba's not even that big of an area. If you if you were to walk about 10 minutes any direction, and this is walking, not driving, 10 minutes any direction, you probably get to another mall. That's how many malls there are. We alone today went into 3 of them. Just to kind of show, we saw a couple others where we just didn't end up going in them. But we headed to Diver City Mall, and the reason we went there is we knew there was the Unicorn Gundam there. And those are really, really cool. This one is life size, which makes everything suddenly amazing. We saw it during the day and at night. But the day one was pretty cool. Basically, it has a show, by the way, in quotation marks, every like 30 minutes to an hour, depends on the time frame. Where it just does a little bit of a little, like, it's cool music, and then its head changes from like it's super pointy to split horn. It's pretty cool. I do have a video of it, which I can eventually share with everybody. And it was really neat. We went in to the mall afterwards and went to go into the Gundam base. And if you like building Gundams, they had what felt like every single set ever, or some sort of replica of an older set. They had so many. I would say probably. I think probably 300 different versions of it. Hello, Chaos, good morning. Have you been to the strip malls at the train station? Yep, several times. A lot of times when we have to go transfer between lines, we'll see different shops all over the place because this is kind of how it works. When you transition to stations, a lot of them have the different lines in different sections, and you kind of have to walk past them. So yeah, we've seen them a bunch actually. How much space belongs to the residential offices? Malls are great. That's true. Although, what's interesting about Odaiba, and I can't say this for absolute certainty, it was way more mall focused than living focused. I don't think I saw any home type of stuff. I could be a little wrong on that. You were saying something like Toys R Us. I did see like several dinosaurs in there. Japan likes the dinosaur way more than they like the giraffe. I think in the Toys R Us I saw 3 dinosaurs, and I saw 1 giraffe. So pretty cool. Japan, no giraffe. Japan, dinosaur. Pokey Ketchup Annette, by the way. You're sleepy? I understand. I get that. I'm sleepy, but in the sense that I'm going to pass out. They do have a dinosaur hotel. They also have a dinosaur love hotel that's based off of Jurassic Park. Would recommend looking up that video. I believe you can find it on Abroad in Japan if you want to. Just a heads up. Dinosaurs are typically cooler than giraffes. I would agree. I've not been to any love hotels. They're in a whole different kind of district than I would go to anyway. We did accidentally have to walk through a small red light district. I forgot to mention it because my feet hurt so much that we had to walk through that area. We didn't even really pay attention to it. But we did have to go through one red light district Monday? Today is Tuesday, so yesterday. Yeah, it was okay. We haven't really seen anything super crazy yet. We haven't seeked it out. Don't think we plan on to anyway. So, yeah, that was kind of interesting. The Game Beaver went over and roasted it as nicely it roasted it. I'm sure it's cool. I'm sure it's awesome. Damn, laced with the multiple damn. Hey, GG, chew. Sorry, I want to take a sip. So we finished up, finishing in the Gundam store. Finishing. And then, for lunch, we decided, well, I had recommended it, because I really wanted to. We had McDonald's, famously known in anime here as Whack-Donald's for whatever reason. I had McDonald's here, because I felt and actually did confirm that it was different enough than American version. They have much different order items, and their ingredients are of a higher quality. So I ordered a samurai burger for a meal, and then had a oi drink, which was very close to a sweet tea-ish type of thing. And then also had ordered a chocolate pie, essentially. McDonald's is pretty banging. I love it. Hi, Anmu. Hello. I am glad to share the stories, very much so. McDonald's is pretty whack. It's true. Have you not heard of the Whack-Donald's? Oh, my mother and my aunt is here. Wonderful. Um, so, um, when I got to try that, the samurai burger is really good. I'm surprised we haven't had something like that in the United States yet. It basically boiled down to a teriyaki double cheeseburger. Um, but it really doesn't do it justice saying that because the meat here is way more juicier and tender than I've had in the United States. It feels way more natural here. I am a certified McDonald's expert, by the way. Thank you. Uh, I would say it's very much more tasty. The French fries were not as crunchy, but that could be because we had it in a mall. So I may have to do another science test on that one. Because fries, if you ever had McDonald's fries, you can have literally the whole smorgasbord when it comes to um, the large variety of different ways you have fries. You can have the goopy ones, the soft ones, the hard, impossible crunchy ones. These ones were pretty much on the soft to maybe crunchy ratio, but very fresh and tasty, though, I would say. Yeah, chocolate pie. I'll get to my whole meal, don't worry, I promise. Um, World McDonald's in Chicago. That sounds so cool. I didn't know about that. You're left munching on a leftover takoyaki. Whoa, nice. I actually had a takoyaki today. Yeah, Mickey D's, from my understanding and heard, McDonald's for some reason is better everywhere else than America, which is kind of sad when you think about it, considering McDonald's was born in America, but it's not as good as many other countries out there. It's very strange. I'm not sure why. You never heard McDonald's? It's just because Dr. Pepper is called Dr. Pepper. In anime, they want to change it just enough, but kind of make sense of it all. Ads. The struggle of the ads. Gomenasai. Most other countries actually seem to get quality McDonald's. It's true. That's what I've heard. I'm just catching back up in chat. Go, fast ads, let's go. We're using steak cooking metrics on our fries. Oh, I see. I know what we're talking about. Yeah, the ratios. It's very true. I'm almost getting caught up to the chat. I'm there. Nailed it. Did it. The future in-laws are lamenting over working nights. It's probably not the healthiest strategy, but you gotta get it what gets done, you know? Yeah, we do have shit quality when it comes to it. I'm so sorry. See, I got food talking again. So I want to talk about the Samurai Burger. So it was, mine was a double cheeseburger with teriyaki, and they overloaded it with sauce in a very good way, honestly. I feel like America loves to skimp on sauce, but this burger was gooping with teriyaki. And the bread was very fresh on it. And it also came with some sauteed onions. And oh man, was that amazing! It felt very good after a long walk. And so delicious. If you get a chance to have a samurai burger, really recommend it. And to wrap all that meal up, I had a chocolate pie. It has a fancier name, which unfortunately escapes me, but it does boil down to that. This was a very fresh pie. It didn't feel had like any preservatives. It felt like it was like a croissant, like the flakiness, like the super flakiness of a croissant, with a chocolate fudge ooey gooey middle to it. It was super fresh. The dough wasn't over sweet. And then when you bite and get into the middle of it, it had a ooey gooey, delicious like fudge that just sent so many good flavors into my mouth. Honestly, astounding that we haven't. I don't think have anything like that yet. And so good, Duke. I'm having a great time in Japan. I've been going over the last couple mornings. Well, mornings for everybody else, evenings for me. It's 11:52, man. And I've been really loving my adventure here uh, in Japan. It's been really fun recapping the day for everybody too. Very very fun. But hey, good food. I'll take it. It was very good. You saw it on the website. Yeah, I didn't try the matcha McFlurry because what's interesting, at least for the one that we ordered in the mall, for whatever reason, we couldn't. There was no, like in McDonald's, for most part in America, they have like that their menu up on like the LEDs. The LEDs were filled with advertisements and just showing off their juicy burgers, but they didn't have any actual menu until you walked up to the cashier and they take out a laminate of it, and then you have to point at it. By the way, easiest way to, if you don't know the Japanese language, just remember "kore o kudasai," which is whatever you're pointing at, please, basically. That helps you get so far in life. They'll understand what you're talking about, and you'll do pretty good. Um, yeah, absolutely, Duke. It's super cool. I would really heckin' recommend it. I didn't like the fact that for whatever reason that you couldn't look at the menu until you walked up. So it did add a little bit of panic. Fortunately, my skimming, I found the unique items, which did make it the hardest. Their ads for their McNuggets looked really different. So there might be one more McDonald's adventure before we leave, if I could help it. I do want to try their McNuggets. They weren't shaped, from what I could tell. You know how like we have the boot shaped McDonald? They basically look like boots. There was none of them, from what I could tell. So they might be really fresh, and I think they had different sauces too. Unfortunately, I didn't get to experiment with that, so I may try one more time. Not 100% sure on that. Pretty sure the nuggets they offer with powders to shake in with the packet. Oh, interesting. Yeah, so I may try one more time there. Plus, then I can figure out whether or not fries are typically on the scale of soft, crunchy. Not crunchy, soft. Crunchy's kind of fine. Um, we also, while I didn't get to go see it, there was a whole shop dedicated to Minecraft that we saw from a distance. We didn't get to go inside of it while we were in that mall, but there was a beautiful looking store just dedicated only to Minecraft. I really wanted to go into it, but apparently Minecraft's popular enough to actually have a store, which is kind of cool. Do you not have the shaken seasoned fries? I didn't see them in Japan. It was pretty basic, normal fries. Um, I want to start my Whack Donald's tier list, 100%. So afterwards, we went over to Team Labs Planets. And let me tell you, this experience, before we get into all of it, was a transcendent experience. It blew my mind. It felt like I was dreaming. The pictures and videos that I hopefully will eventually share with everybody genuinely will never, ever, ever do it justice. Um, Insanity. I came out feeling like elated on dopamine, uh, just from the sheer happiness and sheer coolness of it all. I will describe it the best I can. However, I just don't know. Yeah, so I put two pictures of super out of context in the Discord, which I will describe what each picture is, and I'll tell them what they are afterwards. So when we got there, they immediately showed off just how. If you're unfamiliar with Team Labs, they love art exhibits, and this was a art exhibit, an interactive art exhibit. It's pretty much what they like to do when they have exhibits, and that's their kind of main goal for all of it. But when we get in there, we scan our ticket and then are shown a video. We are told to take off our shoes. We aren't allowed to have our shoes on, and we have to take off our socks. And we're also told to, if you have tights, to take them off, and if you have long jeans, to roll them up. If you have socks, we had lockers. We put everything away. If you, the other funny thing about it too is they said if you're wearing a skirt, please borrow our free rental shorts because there are mirrors on the ground and they will show your panties. They said that, and it really set the experience right away. It was kind of interesting to hear all that, but them being very serious about it. We started our adventure, taking off everything that we did, and got to the entrance of it, and all it says is one period and then water and points us a direction that we need to go. And when we walk past the corner to start our art exhibit, we have no shoes on, we have no socks, we have our pants rolled up. We have to walk into a dark tunnel with only red lights at the very bottom. You can't see anything. It's super hard to see, and then when you turn a corner and you start hearing rushing water that you have to climb. There is a huge hill that you have to climb in kind of somewhat darkness, that has just a whole kind of probably about 45-degree slant of water coming down at you. Pokeketcha that is just gushing water at you with a handrail, and you're climbing it, and it's flowing over to you. Unfortunately, at that point, I may have forgotten. I did. To roll up my pants. And the bottom of my pants did get a little bit wet. Fortunately, this was not the experience where they were really telling you, do you have to roll up your pants? And we were set into immediately getting our feet wet. Quite actually. And then after that, we walked through more dark tunnels. And then they played with feet experiences. And what I mean by that is that they, while in the darkness, just with enough light, they had identical looking floors, but different textures on the floor. So one would be spongy, and then they immediately take away the spongy, and then you would have a coarse feeling floor, and then they would get rid of that, give you spongy again, and then they would give you maybe like a soft carpeted floor, and then another course, and they would do that for the whole tunnel, and you were just kind of feeling it with your foot all the way through. Team Labs at least had a foot obsession, it does seem. Which was very interesting. And there's no way I'm going to mention all of it, but there was one part that I would say wasn't that fun, but they had us go through essentially a sponge room, which I personally didn't like at all. It was in this whole darkish room with a bunch of sponge-like floor in like a very loose fabric on top of it. It ended up just being more difficult to walk through than anything kind of artistical. And it looked kind of ugly too. My pictures won't do it justice because I didn't learn that my phone was trying to absorb as much light and then take a picture. We had to keep moving in there. I think the room could have been more fun if they allowed us to kind of like lay down somewhere, but they were like, you need to keep moving, you need to keep moving. So they focused on getting everybody out of there, and I was fine with it. It wasn't that great. It was fine. I'm gonna just move my bottle. I'm to the top up here. Bloop. And then, yeah, we got through that and then started to get to some of the coolest experiences in the entire exhibit. They had a drowned tunnel that we had to walk through more water. They offered some towels to clean our feet. Uh, and then we walked through more of the feet experience. There was a couple different variants of that. And then we finally got to the really cool stuff. Unfortunately, this will not be helpful to really describe and show the emotions of it all. Uh, but we come to the first really artistic room, and this is a LED strand, kind of like icicles, all over the place with reflective mirrors everywhere. It kind of is like a weird, cool maze that they expect you to walk through that was channeled through music. So, whenever a music would play, like if it got quiet, all the lights would go off. And you could look around and not see very much of anything, just enough to like make sure you're not dying or anything. And then suddenly, like you hear a pulse of the music, and then like the whole cube-like room pulsed with light all the way through. Uh, it started in like a corner and this like went right through you. It felt, uh, and there was different kind of things that it did too. So it would like change colors or just sparkle a bunch. But that was such a really cool room that I wish I could describe better. Hopefully I can show you a video or something like that that will show it off a little bit. I think that one did okay with showing it. So how they managed the busyness movie is that they had people come in queues. So we had a 2 o'clock ticket where we came in and then were scheduled to come in at 2, and then they kind of did it every 30 minutes where they would let more people in, and people would come and go kind of based on that. For the first couple of rooms, they were very adamant on your time and how fast they wanted to push you through. I'm gonna sit up. Ooh. Hello. I wish I could show you. Hi, Star Wars. But I can't, unfortunately, even put anything in the hub right now. If I got out of this screen, apparently it cancels the stream. So I'm not going to do that right now. That was the soju. So they ended up pushing us through the LED light strand maze. That was really cool and synchronized to music. And the entire thing of Team Labs was centered around this very, very beautiful music. And after finishing the lights were one of my favorite locations. There's two really favorite locations, and they were both relatively back to back. But this one came up first. So we walked into a dark tunnel and were told, please pull up your pants or like wrap them around your legs, like to pull them up. You had to do it for this area because it was higher than ankle deep water in darkness, and you had to walk it for a little bit until you got to be able to push past a curtain. And pushing past this curtain opened up to a room that looked like there were over 2,000 to 3,000 people just in there. However, it was an illusionary trick. It was an entire room centered by mirrors. That was really cool and really awe-striking, but it looked like you were in like a cave filled with beautiful glowing fish. And these fish are really cool technology-wise because there are projectors above you that are aimed at the smoky looking water, that are all controlled by this computer program, that is generated to make unique situations every single time. There's no repeat animations, in the sense that everything is generated to be unique and reactive to the crowd. So if it detects you as a person, which it can because you interrupt its light stream, so they are koi fish. They look like koi. They're the traditional orange and white koi. They would swim up, and if they intersected with your shadow or if they intersected with your body, they would explode into flower petals. And if they intersected with another fish, they would explode into flower petals. And you could just see a bunch of different fish swimming and floating everywhere. Some fish would go onto suicide missions and just explode onto a whole crowd. And after probably about 10 minutes is when the whole room started to glow. And man, just thinking about this gives me shivers. The whole room started to glow, and the entire smoky floor, where it was just filled with water, no longer looked like it was water anymore, but in a whole sea of rainbows. The fish were moving so fast at that point that they were causing like slipstreams of color everywhere. There was greens, there was reds, there was blues, there was oranges. The AI program for the first one we saw actually realized where there were certain groups of people, and put a black hole on them where there was no color, and they were being surrounded by circling color over and over. I think I got a video of it. I haven't since reviewed it yet, but this was all synchronized to music, and it was just like super joyous and chorus music, that just was so cool. It was just so beautiful, and we just hung out in there for a while. Kind of felt good on the feet because all the water wasn't cold. It was the perfect like temperature. What kind of temperature? You know, like if you were to grab or like heat up a I know it's more common for Minnesota, but if you heated up like a corn sack or like a rice sack or whatever to like put like a hot pack on yourself, it kind of had like that temperature if you didn't immediately take it out and left it out for a minute and then put it on yourself. It was about that temperature, and it felt really nice to just have your legs in it. And we stood in there for a while. We just watched it. We saw about 2 or 3 of the very cool, super lit up room, and it was just so cool. We ended up also finding a back room that wasn't talked about, but you could discover it if you were walking around the room. And that was really neat to see because it was water dripping from the ceiling. The back rooms, I know. There was water dripping from the ceiling, and in it there was light coming down with it. Like each like little bit it was dropping had different kind of colors in it. A lot of people were just taking pictures of it, and I realized, and I don't think anybody else did, a lot of people also I think thought it was the LEDs, but I realized it was water. And I'm not kidding. I was the main protagonist in this situation, where I realized I could move my hand across and just disrupting the stream would turn off all the lights of all the rest of them. I know, I shouldn't walk up in there. But it turned off all the lights for the rest of it. And then once the water was able to resume its flowing path, the lights would turn back on. And it would make like a tune of music when you played with the water strings. And it was so cool. No one else figured it out. And I don't know if it was just not intuitive or people just didn't have the natural curiosity. Because no staff was back there. They just, if you kind of walked into the water and found like a back room of it, you could just find this like coolest Easter egg, I guess, essentially. And you got to play with a water screen and turn off the lights, essentially. I really, really liked that. So I'm gonna come to now my favorite room, and the room I ended up hurting my back a lot in. Um, this room. No, there's one more room. One more room before. Sorry, I'm going mentally through because I hadn't hurt my back yet. One more room before that one. When we finished up that, we got to dry off our feet and learn a little bit about the art exhibit. Gave us nice fresh towels, and we dried off our feet, and then we got to go into this huge ballroom, and not in the sense of a ballroom like, oh, I'm dancing, hee hee, but like cloud like gigantic balls, big balls. And you got to touch the balls. And the balls were very glowy and they had very cloud-like properties. There were some balls attached to the ceiling, some balls you could play around with. With the only instruction we were told when going in there, am I drunk? No. EA. We were told not to punch the balls hard, but you could move them around. Plenty and hang out with them. You would be encouraged to lay on the balls, do whatever you wanted with the balls. I would love to see if they had American experiences. I think they have one in Germany, but I haven't seen if they had any there. I would gladly play with the cloud balls. I did play with the cloud balls. I have a picture that hopefully I will eventually share with everybody. There was one with me kind of resting and laying on the ball. I can't do anything about that. I tried to do that, but we ended up getting to just hang out there, and it was kind of interesting. You had to push the balls around the room to make a pathway to the exit. So inherently, a lot of people had just taken a pre-established path and not did anything with it. I actually don't think I have any possibilities. Carolyn, who possibly is listening out there, could you do something for me, please? Kudasai. I have no powers right now. I don't think, anyway. But that's fine. Just ignore it. When we eventually pushed ourselves out of the exit, what's weird is a lot of people don't interact. Thank you, Carolyn. Interact with exhibits as much as you think they would. They're paying to get in there and just didn't bother to do anything with them. And I'm not sure why that is. It seems very strange, thank you, Carolyn, that it wasn't capable of people's mindset to interact with the balls, because people just saw the balls and then kind of scooted out of the room, because there was a very easy left exit and a very hard right exit, and for me, I wanted to go balls deep, and I pushed those balls all the way to the corner. I actually didn't know there was another escape over there, but I did get over there. We rested on the balls, we posed on the balls, and the balls were really cool because they would change from like blue, yellow, red, pink. They had a bunch of different cool colors like that. It just were synced to a light kind of music. And just, it was really nice. We didn't spend all that much more time in there once we got to the exit. But we did get to now my favorite room. When we first stepped in there, it was big balls, okay? I don't know how else I'm supposed to describe big balls. I like big balls and I cannot lie. So we ended up getting to now my favorite room. We walked through a dark tunnel again. No texture on the feet this time. And we saw a black curtain. So the black curtains are typically for the next exhibit to kind of hide your eyes from it. Um, it kind of freaked me out because I didn't know it was another mirror room. The mirrors were pretty common, by the way. They were also in the ballroom. The mirrors are on the feet. A lot of these exhibits had mirrors on the floor, other than the water one. But the this one felt like you were immediately falling into a void, and my brain finally caught up with itself, and we were told to sit on the floor, on this mirror floor, in the middle of the best you could, and lay down and look up. And this is where I hurt my back, because I laid down, and this is not an exaggeration, on the ground looking up at this beautiful image. And this is the last image I had sent in the Discord, by the way. For over an hour on this glass floor, in like a hypnotic state. It was so, so beautiful. It put me in such a trance. The music that was there was astounding, beautiful, gentle, kind, exciting. A lot of different emotions run through you when you're listening to it. Maybe a little bit sad. What they were showing in this planetarium-esque kind of situation was this giant circle, half-circle room, the glass on the mirrors on the floor, and this room was being projected with flowers, procedurally generated flowers, falling in a universe-esque situation. Like, if I were to try to describe it, it felt like if a planet full of flowers was destroyed by the Death Star, and then just had all the flowers explode everywhere and collide with things, and butterflies got to survive out in space. And the music was so amazing. I haven't ever really cried in an art exhibit, but I did shed about 1 or 2 tears. Thank you so much for the raid, by the way. Welcome. No, it's okay. No problems, Paul. We're talking about my adventure in Japan today. We're just kind of chatting, and I hope you had a great stream. Thank you so much for the raid. It was so beautiful that it just made me shed a tear. I teleported us through time, because we didn't necessarily intend to just be on the ground, laying on the floor, staring at this procedurally generated flowers, because there was different kind of flowers. There was pansies, there was sunflowers, there was tulips, all different kind of flowers I don't know the names of. Sometimes the whole projection would be covered by a leaf, and you would just like feel a moment of just emptiness as the leaf got past your view. And then other moments you would just be filled with petals exploding all over your face. It was so pretty. And I really wish I could describe it more. I did take a video, and hopefully it will kind of convey it a little bit more. I want to see if I can add it, but I don't have Discord Nitro. So we'll see what I can kind of do about that. Japan is super good, Paul. I would really recommend going sometime. It's been really good. Where's brushing your teeth? No worries, Lice. Staying on the floor for an hour on a hard surface has been known to hurt my back, because it essentially decompresses. Being on the floor for an hour and having to get up, unfortunately, really decompressed my spine, and having done so much exercise these last couple days, ended up really hurting my back, and I did not feel great. It was actually hard to get up It is unfortunately a thing of my size. As you may know, I am a heavy gentleman. So it definitely doesn't help that that ended up happening. But we did make it through. And the last thing, which wasn't as cool um, to me, but it could be very cool to others, is they had an orchid garden. So how this worked was we got to queued up and then we waited for our turn. When we got to go in there, we got to go and walk into a room and then sit on the floor. And then we were told to look up. And they dropped hanging, slowly by the way, I should say, hanging orchids were floating down towards you. And these were real orchids, by the way. They were all being. It's like was kind of like a greenhouse that they had just strands of wire and with like a cradle for their roots to fall down and come and like get really close to your face. It would react to your presence. So if you got like close to it, the orchids would be pulled up a little bit. If you kind of just let yourself gently absorb the nature, they would get closer to your face. They would never touch you intentionally unless you went to go for them. So that was a really cool experience, but that was the last of Team Labs. And it was really, really cool. I'm going to lay back down again. Ooh. But it was good. You need to be 18 first. I would recommend going when you can, then. Because it was such a wonderful experience so far. Oh, and that was probably about 4 o'clock. And I have a lot to go through still. I can't believe how much I've been talking. I want to not speedrun this because I think it's worthwhile talking about my whole day. Because this is for my future that I want to remember it all. So, afterwards, we decided to go and check out this really cool old Japanese themed area. So they had a kind of preservation area for old Japanese stuff. They had essentially made half of this mall of a certain floor covered in what kind of felt like you were walking down a old Japanese alley, sort of, that had a bunch of different consumer stuff. So when we first got there, there was a bunch of old arcade kind of stuff that was off to the left, and different kind of shops, different kind of stores all over the place, and had really cool just old candies, which I did pick up some, which I hopefully will be bringing home, some stuff to both gift and to have, and different kind of cool merch that was there too. And I am unsure why, but they had a bunch of gotcha or gambling stuff. They had some Pokemon cards that caught Elena's eye. She had asked me if I liked Japanese Pokemon cards, and I said yes. And Elena was like, "Well, I want to try this cool crane game thing to pick up like a little like package with a Pokemon card booster pack in them." And they ended up not succeeding with 200 yen. And then next door, I saw a weird baby that had a key string on it that said A. So there was these babies that you could grab with the claw game. Had different keys on them was labeled. So like A, B, C, D, E, and F, and G. Nope. To E. Sorry. A, B, C, D, E. And they all corresponded to different lockers next to the crane game. If you captured a baby, you would essentially be able to open up and get the stuff. Uh, Apparently, I am a whiz, a master at these crane games. On my first try, I managed to grab the child, the small weird baby doll that was uh, weird, and actually lift it up into the air, and it fell immediately. Um, which is not surprising if you're familiar with crane games, especially one where they don't want to pay out. That's not super surprising. What did surprise me on the second yen, for total of 200 yen, I managed to get two lovely Japanese booster boxes of Pokemon. This one hasn't even come out in America yet. Um, I have two whole booster boxes of this that are essentially worth about $180 combined USD, for 200 yen, which is less than $2. Yes, lucky and both skilled, yes, but the definitely lucky side. Uh, I managed to capture this baby. I think I got a picture of it. When I captured it, and I think the reason why I won is that it got stuck in the claw because I somehow deformed its head. What I mean by that is that these baby dolls were, um, what is, like the very squeezable figures that kind of filled with like kind of sand or not. It was essentially like that for a baby doll. Pokeketch and Esper, by the way. I managed to get that with 200 yen. Sniped it both times, obviously. So I surprisingly have skill with it. I didn't want to gamble any more of my luck. Because I frankly just didn't expect to be able to get. This was a key, by the way. I didn't expect to manage to be able to get this. And I'm shocked by it. The card stores, by the way, I checked for USD instead, just on Amazon. Amazon tends to be cheaper. If I were to have bought these in Japan, it would have been probably about 300,000 yen. In the stores that I found nearby this, where you could actually find these. So essentially, if you an old conversion essentially got $300 worth of stuff right there. And then we walked through the rest of the store, the rest of the places. There was a not pop up, a haunted maze that we didn't decide to go through. But they had a very funny Japanese video of people overreacting, being scared in there. And then at the very end of this like floor was a takoyaki museum that had a bunch of different takoyaki stalls where you could kind of get different takoyaki as they've kind of evolved during over their time. So like different kind of textures and different things, and that's where we had some takoyaki. We took a little bit of break and had some really really tasty takoyaki. If you don't know what that is, it is octopus balls, fried dough with in the middle of it is a ball of octopus, and it's very good. It's covered in Kewpie mayo, which is just a very rich mayo. I would really highly recommend it, and you can find those in the States, Kewpie mayo. And then what they put inside, was mostly just the fish flakes on top, the mayo, and then a very gooey dough that was inside. But they didn't do too much, I think, extra in the middle for that one. Uh, it was very, very good, but I will definitely be trying some street food version versus the because I don't know what time frame that takoyaki was. And when I mean that time frame, because like I said, this area had different takoyaki made from different times. I'm unsure when this one was kind of made in the theory of all of it, but they had a bunch of different options for takoyaki. They had the original, which is what we ended up having, but there was also soup dipped. There was green onion, and there was also teriyaki or something like that, I believe. So I was like, wow, so many different options. I wanted to get a try-all, but I definitely couldn't have as many because the try-alls were going to have like 12 total takoyaki, and Elena said she couldn't have that many. So I was like, well, definitely can't do that. I don't know. It was actually all of them. There's definitely more to the batter though. So hopefully I can find some street food versions. I've heard the street food versions are typically superior anyway, so I will be definitely trying more in the future. So that pretty much wrapped up our adventure. I did have also some frozen yogurt ice cream, frozen yogurt, that was really good there. I've had frozen yogurt before, but this one was really smooth and very much like if you were to have very fresh yogurt frozen. I don't know. It's definitely not like the frozen yogurt I've had before. But it was in a very nice cone. I just had vanilla, and it was very tasty and very refreshing after takoyaki. And then we decided to go back over to Diver City Mall. If you're familiar with my story, that was where we saw the Gundam. We discovered a sign earlier that day that there were some nighttime shows. And nighttime happens just before 6 here. So probably about 5:30 is when it gets dark here right now. I know, I need to go to bed. I'm almost done with my story. We went there because there was different shows. The shows that got to play were showing a projection on the wall, and then the whole light show all over the mech. And the mech also did different colors and different actions. The first one we got to see replicated a battle scene with the unicorn Gundam, and did like a whole replica scene of it. That was really cool and really pretty. And I did not take a video of it because it wasn't. I was there to just enjoy the moment. It was chop chop. I know. And then I also took, for eventuality, they also had a very, very gay and wonderful rainbow staircase that wasn't, we didn't know was LED staircased when we saw it during the daytime, but they had a rainbow bridge staircase up to a floor that was very beautiful, and I did film some content that I will hopefully later make and send on into TikTok and YouTube Shorts. That will be an eventuality. I did get Elena to film me running down the steps, and we'll see how that goes with later editions. But that pretty much wraps up my day. Other than me describing some incredible, horrendous foot pain on my way back. But that ends my lovely day. I hope everyone had a wonderful time hearing it. I know I had a wonderful time sharing it. But it's time for me to go. It is 12:36 here. 12:36 a.m. I hope everyone has a wonderful night. Sleep well. Oyasumi. Johnny. Stay neato, everybody. And bye bye. I'm turning off the lights. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Night. Bye. Good night, everybody.